Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you about daily drawing habits and tips for keeping it up, as well as reasons why I stopped. Before I get into that, I thought I'd do a little look through my bullet journal. I love this Everything Goes sticker from 772, link in the description on the back of my journal. So here are just a couple of Bujo spreads, and they're a lot about music. So I kept up this daily drawing thing from April until May and a little bit into June. I started by accident, as a few days into April I noticed I'd drawn every day and decided to challenge myself to create a daily drawing habit. As we go along, I'll try and pop each finished piece in the corner, or maybe the stages as well, so you can see what I'm talking about. Full disclosure, I'm still getting to grips with lettering, and this was back in April. Anyway, I'll start talking about the tips. So my first tip is to line up sequential projects with deadlines. It doesn't matter if they're personal or external projects and who sets the deadlines, as long as you have a rough date to work towards. I find that helps motivate me and I can keep my momentum. Another thing which might be useful, for example if you're not participating in external projects right now or you're stuck for ideas, is to do some studies. You can sandwich them in between projects with deadlines. I also really like doing studies in prep for bigger pieces. It varies the level of stress/perfectionism throughout the weeks, and I think it's just nice. Like, if I'm feeling really tired that day, I'll just do a little rock study or look at some skin tone mixes, for example. In the video, I'm currently writing about doing a few tiny studies in prep for a much bigger digital pastel piece. By much bigger, I really do mean it. It was A3, and I don't think I've done one that big before. I also was quite open with my definition of a drawing habit, so I'd count things like lettering practice or even tiny editing jobs in Procreate, anything that keeps me familiar with the tools and materials I use for art. I would even count creating this Bujo spread as part of that. A massive tip that I wish I had known is to rotate between mediums if you can. For me, I'm mainly talking about rotating between digital and traditional art. I did only digital for about a month and a half, and my hands started hurting so much due to constantly performing the same gestures, hand and wrist positions, pressure, etc. Maybe the pressure issue would be less with, say, an Apple Pencil or other pressure sensitive tool, but I don't have one, so yeah. If you've got any insights, please let me know in the comments. In traditional art, I think even in just one medium, your hand moves in much more varied ways than digital. For example, with watercolor, you'd maybe have the pencil holding and erasing for the sketch, then the brush painting, then washing the brush, using a paper towel, I don't know. Sometimes I stand up as well when I'm painting, so that probably helps vary posture as well. Okay, now I think I'll start getting into why I stopped my daily drawing habit. One of the big reasons was that it just stopped being fun. A few days into the third month, so early June, it just wasn't fun at all anymore. I would actually feel a drop in my mood when I sat down to start drawing, and this was worrying. Drawing has always been such a joy and comfort for me, so I didn't want to lose that by chasing after this challenge. I think I also got caught up in the daily aspect of the habit and lost sight of the whole point, which was to keep drawing regularly, not necessarily every single day. These days I draw about every 2 to 3 days and sometimes even daily, and I'm not even trying to. When I'm not forcing myself to squash out some form of drawing every day, on days when I don't draw, I actively look forward to drawing. So I guess this is my last tip. The most important part of the daily drawing habit is to be regular with the drawing and not necessarily the everyday part. It's meant to be a bit of a challenge, but it shouldn't suck the life out of your art. Right, I've talked a lot in this one. I'd love to hear from you if you've tried this kind of challenge and how you found it. Did you have any of the same experiences as I did? How long did you keep it up for? If you've not tried this challenge yet, I hope you might find some of these tips useful. Obviously, creating this journal spread is an extra thing, but it is nice to make a little note of what you've drawn and see it get longer and longer with the days passing. with that, I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm also on Ko-fi, where I've now opened my digital shop. Any support, even just a follow, helps so much. My next video will be a Heartstopper themed mermaid sketch to line art process. See you soon. Take care.